Welcome to today's lesson. I am absolutely thrilled you're here. If you're an 8th grade student navigating the wild, sometimes completely chaotic world of middle school, well, you're in exactly the right place today. We're jumping right into a really fascinating concept, what it actually means to be a citizen of two entirely different worlds at the exact same time. We're going to explore how to live honorably right here, right now in a fallen world by unpacking the timeless wisdom found in Romans chapter 13. So let's just dive right in. So, here is the million-dollar question for today. How do you live honorably in this world while belonging fully to God? I mean, think about it. You're a student. You've got chores, homework, friends, and everyday earthly responsibilities. But at the exact same time, if you're a believer, your heart and your ultimate allegiance belong completely to God. So how on earth do you balance that? How do you walk through the crowded hallways of your school, interacting with everyone around you in a way that respects this world but undeniably proves you belong to a higher kingdom? That is the core challenge we're tackling today.
To figure this out, here's our game plan. We'll quickly cover citizens of two worlds, honoring proper authority, how love fulfills the law, waking up spiritually, putting on the armor, and we'll wrap it all up with the godly learner.
Okay, section 1. Citizens of two worlds and belonging completely to God. You see, as believers, it's like we have this dual citizenship. We live right here on earth, sure, but our ultimate loyalty is always to God above. Basically, everything we do here is a reflection of who we belong to there. Moving right along to section 2, honoring proper authority, focusing on order, justice, and integrity. Now, this is where the rubber really meets the road in your daily life, whether you're sitting in math class, hanging out with friends, or just at home with your family. Listen, the Apostle Paul gets super practical in Romans 13 about how we actually live this out. He gives us 4 really specific actions for a Christian citizen. Number 1, respect proper authority. Now, for an 8th grader, that means listening to your parents, your teachers, your coaches. Number 2, live honestly. That means doing your own homework, no cheating, and telling the truth even when it's totally awkward or hard. Number 3, pay what is owed. If you borrow a book from the library or, a dollar from a friend for the vending machine, return it. And number 4, show honor where honor is due. This just means speaking respectfully to the people who lead you. These aren't just polite suggestions, guys. They are the active, daily duties of a Christian citizen.
But wait, why do we actually do all those things? We do them because God is the absolute highest authority. While we respect earthly rules and human leaders, we're doing it knowing that God is ultimately the one in charge, and He deeply, deeply cares about order, justice, and integrity in our society. When you respect the authority of your teacher in the classroom, you know what? You're actually showing respect for the God who loves order and placed that teacher there in the first place.
All right, section 3. Love fulfills the law and the active pursuit of doing no harm. We're shifting gears a little bit now, moving from just following the rules to the actual driving force behind everything a Christian does. And that brings us to our memory verse of the day, Romans 13:10. Love does no harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. I want you to really let that sink in for a second. True Christian citizenship isn't just about crossing your fingers and trying not to get in trouble. It's about actively looking at your neighbor, whether that's the kid sitting next to you in science lab or your sibling at the dinner table, and making the deliberate, conscious choice to do them no harm.
Just think about the massive difference between these two mindsets for a second. On one side, you have simply obeying rules. That's just checking off a list so you don't get attention, right? But on the other side, we have walking in love and doing what is right. God is calling you so much higher than just being a rule follower. He wants you to actively treat others well. It's about treating your classmates, your friends, and even the people who completely annoy you in a way that truly pleases the Father. When you walk in love, you're naturally fulfilling God's commands without even needing a checklist.
Section 4, waking up spiritually and the spiritual alarm clock. Here, Paul reminds believers of a really important reality about how we use our time. I like to call this part of Romans 13 the spiritual alarm clock. It's like, beep, 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 wake up. That is literally the message here. And why? Because our future salvation is nearer right now than when we first believed. Every single day that ticks by brings us one step closer to eternity with God. I really want to challenge you right here. It is time to stop coasting. I know it's so easy in 8th grade to just go with the flow, to spiritually sleepwalk through your weeks. But the nearness of our future salvation, that should jolt us awake. It should push you to actively step into your faith every single morning. And since we're awake, well, we've got to change our spiritual clothes. Paul tells us to cast off the works of darkness. That means taking off and throwing away those bad habits, lying, gossip,
all those sinful choices. It's like tossing out dirty, heavy, gross clothes. Instead, we have to put on the armor of light. We are actively gearing up in God's truth, His purity, and His light. Section 5, putting on the armor and gearing up for Christ. So what does it actually mean to put on the Lord Jesus Christ when you're just, walking down the hallway in middle school?
Well, it really comes down to this definition right here: surrendered obedience. Basically, this means yielding our own desires to follow God's will as we move toward that future salvation. Let me give you an example. You might have a really strong desire to snap back at someone when you're frustrated, or maybe to join in when the crowd is making fun of someone. Surrendered obedience means taking that natural desire and yielding it. You give it up because you'd rather follow God's will in that moment. It's making the tough, active choice to put on Christ's character instead of just giving in to your own impulses.
Picture your faith journey like a timeline. Step 1 is experiencing that incredible new beginning, being born again. That's a beautiful starting line, but guys, it's just the beginning. Step 2 is exactly where you are right now, continuing every single day in surrendered obedience. It's those daily, moment-by-moment choices. And step 3 is the ultimate destination we're all moving toward, our future salvation. You've got to purposefully walk through step 2 every single day to live honorably.
Okay, final section. Section 6, the godly learner and prioritizing wisdom over mere intelligence. Now, let's tie all of this incredible theology directly to your daily life as a student. Before we talk about education, we got to look at Romans 8, 6-7. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. This right here is our anchor. If your mind is only focused on worldly, carnal things, like, just getting a good grade at any cost, being the most popular, or only looking out for number 1, it just leads to spiritual emptiness. But keeping your mind spiritually minded, keeping it completely centered on God, that is what actually leads to true life and peace. And this brings us right to the core of the HeroesMart Academy Godly Learner philosophy. We purposefully intertwine biblical morality with education for a very, very specific reason. Because honestly, education without morality can actually hurt people. Think about it. If you're highly intelligent but you have zero morals, you might use your knowledge to cheat, to deceive people, or to tear others down. Knowledge and intelligence shouldn't just make you more capable. They absolutely must equip you to make wise, God-honoring choices. So a godly learner is going after these 4 things all at once. Yes, absolutely. You pursue academic excellence, work hard, study, learn that math, science, and history, but you do it while maintaining God-centered thoughts. You seek truth and wisdom, not just memorizing raw data. And you use your education to make righteous choices. You are learning and growing so that you can better serve the God who created you and the neighbors He has called you to love.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, from being citizens of 2 worlds to putting on the armor of light and finally stepping into the shoes of a godly learner. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. How will you honor God through love, obedience, and integrity this week? Seriously, don't just let this explainer be something you listened to and immediately forgot. Make it something you live. Look for an opportunity today, just one, to show honor to a teacher, to do no harm to a classmate, and to pursue your studies with a spiritually minded heart. Thank you so much for diving into this with me. Keep waking up spiritually, and I'll catch you on the next one.